Hey guys, it's Brittany. Welcome back to UnderTheRadarBooks, and today I want to do my TBR for Dewey's 24-hour readathon. This is a readathon that takes place every 6 months, and it's where you read for 24 hours straight if you can, and there's all these fun challenges and different things you guys can do as a community. There's people on Twitter hosting things and people on BookTube hosting things, and it's so much fun. I participated last time, and I happened to be on a trip at the time, but I tried to do as much as I could, and I had so much fun, so I'm really excited to do it again this time around. And so I have, once again, an obnoxiously over-ambitious TBR. But this is more for just having like a pile of books that I want to get to as options instead of like scrambling on my bookshelf trying to find something in the middle of the readathon. So these are just things that I think are books that I really want to get to and good options for readathon. Like they're all really quick reads and kind of different structure. And the last time I did Dewey's, I did a whole bunch of really short books, and that didn't really work very well for me because I felt like, I don't know, it was almost like jarring having to jump out of so many different worlds and then back into new ones. So I'm going to try something different this time and see how it works. So I'll just jump into the things that are on my TBR. The first book that I have on my TBR is The Lover's Dictionary by David Levithan. And this is a love story that depicts two young adolescents who fall in love, but it's all told in dictionary definitions like this. So I think it's going to be a really quick read. I have heard really good things about it and people really enjoyed it. I really like reading books that have really interesting structures and just something a little bit different. So I think this will be a good contender. Next up is a book that I have had on my TBR for I don't even know how long, and I've heard wonderful things about it, and that is Glaciers by Alexis M. Smith. This follows a young woman who works in the basement of a library who I believe falls in love with a soldier, and it seems like a very sweet and compelling little love story, and it's a really short read. It has like really big margins and big font, and so I think this is perfect for readathon, something I can just get through in one sitting. Next is a middle grade novel, and I like to always throw at least one of these in for a big readathon like this, and this one is Book Scavenger, and it's by Jennifer Chambliss-Bertman. This follows a 12-year-old girl named Emily who has just been uprooted from her hometown, moved to a new area, and she discovers that there is this famous guy who creates the Book Scavenger game where different books are hidden in different places and there's clues in all of them, and basically it's almost like Charlie and Chocolate Factory where the winner of this gets like a grand prize, gets to tour the game making facility and things like that, and this just sounds really fun. I have really enjoyed middle grade novels. There's quite a few that have a lot to do with books as their main theme, and so this just seems like a lot of fun and it'll be a really quick read. Next up is a graphic novel that I have been wanting to get to for a very long time, and this is the first in I think it's a trilogy, I want to say, but this is Uzumaki by Junji Ito, and this is a shiny book cover, there we go. And this is a horror graphic novel, or manga I guess you would say, that follows a small town that everyone kind of starts going crazy, and everything that happens to these people involves spirals, and this sounds super bizarre trying to describe it, but I've heard that it's very creepy, and I've heard nothing but really good things about it, so I'm really excited to jump into this. This will definitely be a one-sitting read. Most of the illustrations are in black and white. There are a couple color illustrations, but yeah, it looks like really awesome artwork, and I'm excited to give it a go. Next up is a short story collection, A Tree, a Person, or a Wall by Matt Bell. I have quite a few of Matt Bell's books. I think I have another short story collection as well as a novel, but this sounds so good. This is a combination of two of his short story collections that until now have been astronomically priced because they're out of print, and so this has been reissued and they've been combined together to make this big short story collection, and he just seems like he does really bizarre short stories, and they just sound right up my street. I read a couple pages of the first story and it just seems so odd and really great for a readathon. Next up is The Call by Hr Readathon oh my gosh, that can't be how you pronounce it. But I know that this author is Irish because the book has a lot of Irish heritage in it, which is really interesting to me. And this sounds a little reminiscent of Hunger Games in the way that it follows teen protagonists who are thrown into this gauntlet style kind of atmosphere where the chances of them surviving are very small. Instead of going up against each other, though, they're going against an ancient race. I'm not sure what this is going to be, whether it's going to be fairies or something like that, but I know that, like I said, it's a lot of Irish heritage, and so it sounds really, really interesting. It sounds super thrilling, which is going to be great for the readathon. I think this is one that I will just fly right through. Next up is one of my most anticipated releases of 2016, and that is A Green and Ancient Light by Frederick S. Durbin. This has been compared to the Book of Lost Things, which is one of my favorite books of all time. It's been portrayed as a modern fairy tale. The protagonist is a young boy, and that's about all that I know about it, and that sounds pretty awesome to me, so I'm definitely excited to get into this one. I've heard that the writing is very beautiful, and I think this is going to be almost like my comfort read during the readathon. This is like something that I would go to and almost like for sure I'm going to like it, so that's why I put this one in there. Next is another short story collection, and that is Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs. This is the author of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and this is a collection of stories that goes on in the same world as Miss Peregrine's, but it doesn't follow the same characters. So this sounds really interesting. This is such a beautiful book. It's nice and short, and there are stunning illustrations in them. So I think that this will be a good one to dip in and out of as time goes on. Another thriller that I have chosen, because I think it's going to be a really fast read and something really engaging, is The Last One by Alexandra Olivier. This follows a young woman who signs up for this reality TV show called The Zoo, where contestants are put in extreme, like, outdoor situations where they're trying to survive and to prove themselves. And while they're on the show, there happens to be some sort of apocalyptic event, and the people that are on the show are pretty much stranded out in the wilderness. They have no idea what's happening with their families or with the rest of the world. And so this sounds so interesting and super, super fast-paced. I think it'll be perfect for Deweys. And the last thing that I have is another graphic novel that I just picked up, and that is the first volume of Sandman by Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman is one of my all-time favorite authors, and I have yet to read this series, which is fairly long as far as I know. I don't know anything about it besides the fact that it is a horror graphic novel series, so I'm definitely in, you know, written by Neil Gaiman. Like, that's all I need to know. So I think this will be another really good option, just because graphic novels are great to break up your other reading and kind of give you a different type of storyline, a different type of art form to get into. So I think this will be a really good contender as well. So, as you can tell, there's no way that I'm getting to all of those books, but I do like to have options. This will be the stack that I will be pulling from, so I'm really excited to get into any number of these, and I'm really excited to see what everybody else is going to be reading, and I love interacting with everybody, so please make sure that you add me on Twitter and Instagram and all those things, and link all of your TBRs down below. If you have videos or pictures or whatnot, please put them in the comments down below so that I can check out and see what you guys are going to be reading. And good luck, everybody. I hope you have fun, and I will see you on Saturday. Until next time, happy reading.